people. Watching creative materials. I do all kinds of different kinds of art forms, and I hang out with people that do all kinds of different kinds of art forms that I can't do because it's inspiring. So whatever you need to do to get inspired, it's watch different kinds of cultural videos. I watch Polynesian dance, African dance. My favorite dancers are tap dancers, old and new. So the creativity question, my answer is go, like search, expand your horizons, reach outside of your own sphere of experience. Watch a video in another language and just sit there and be like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? And listen to how the language sounds and be like, man, that is crazy. This language has clicks in it. You'd be like, man, it's a letter in another language. It's like, it's a letter in another language. You know, it's crazy thought process, but that'll get some juices flowing. Are there any questions anybody has before I do another spiel?
Did you start off like cycling and performing, or is it something that like built and like you started to like it more?
I am since I was a little kid, I was a bit of a diva, a tiny bit, a bit of a diva. Like I really liked attention, and that's because I was insecure. But I really liked attention, so I was like, ah! But then I started dancing, and it was something I was very uncomfortable with. So it was very hard for me to, like nerve-wracking for me to be in front of people. And it's something that I wanted to do, but wasn't really strong. I wasn't a strong dancer always. And it was really hard for me to like just get out in front of people and perform and be very big and confident. Like that took me being confident in what I could do. Is that answering?
Yeah, I guess. So the more you did it, like the more comfortable it became?
Yes. I will say first I became very comfortable in what I could do, in my skill set and my ability. I had to really train and get comfortable in what I could do first. And when I was comfortable in that, and then I had to get comfortable performing, which it's like two different beasts. So it was like, okay, I'm comfortable enough to do this move. Now I can't stop shaking because I'm about to go on stage. But because I knew that I had the move, I just was like, okay, I gotta go for it. So the more you do it, the more you get comfortable doing it.
And then you liked doing it?
Yeah, it got very enjoyable.
What do you get out of performing or like doing like competitions and stuff?
Yes. What do I get out of it? I would say just good old-fashioned experience and enjoyment for the most part. Like you can't really emulate an experience. There's nothing like competing, and there's nothing like performing. Like two different kinds of experiences. Like being on stage in front of a bunch of people, and you do something cool, and everybody's like, "Woo!" It's like exhilarating. You're like, "I'm awesome," you know. And then being in a competition, you do the same thing, and everybody's like, you're like, oh no, maybe I'm not so awesome. But then there's different kinds of experiences, like you leave a competition stage and maybe on stage no one said anything, but then off stage someone comes up to you and they're like, yo, I really like your style, or you did this thing and even though you didn't win, like you really inspire me. Or so there's no real emulation of different kinds of experiences that you can have, and that's really why I encourage people to cipher, to compete, to perform, do as many things as possible, because all those experiences will grow you in one form or another. Like from dancing in the club, like going out to the clubs, you know, people go to clubs, they get drunk and woo. But I used to go out and dance in the clubs, and for me dancing in the clubs, it helped me my performance, because in the club they don't care what a loose leg is. You know what I'm saying? You're just hopping around, so you gotta do something really cool to impress a bunch of people that have been drinking and are trying to hook up with people. Like, you gotta do something. You know? Like, they came here with one-track minds. I wanna get drunk and I wanna sleep with somebody. So, you wanna impress these people, you gotta be impressive. You gotta perform, you know? And that's what it is. I got used to performing, and it's not like you can, you know, spit on your head in a club, like, why would you? So I learned how I learned how to be entertaining in that experience. I learned how to be very communicative, how to dance with different kinds of people in the cipher. You know, I learned how to be very dynamic, and when the appropriate time to be dynamic is in storytelling, I learned that on stage. So that's experience across the board, and it's all helpful to help you grow. Winded answer, but hopefully a good one. Yeah.
What drew you to house dance of all styles?
House and breaking I started doing at the same time. I was fortunate in that the people that I started with were doing them both. So it's kind of like growing up in a bilingual household a little bit. Like you might not even understand that it's two different languages until someone sits you down and they're like, listen, you can't just mix Spanish with English whenever you want. Like it's two different languages. We're the only people that know what you're talking about. So so I was very fortunate in that I came up with both the styles. And but what really drew me to house was the culture of house versus the culture of breaking and hip hop in general. Even though they're cousins, house and hip hop are cousins. They grew up in the same area.